It seems like every day we're getting closer and closer to living in a clown world created by The Onion. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. The latest rumor showing PlayStation Studios potentially looking for a non-white transgender lead for a new game exploring cultural misogyny. What is even happening in video games right now? Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article breaking down this wild rumor. And I want to be abundantly clear that this currently is a rumor that has not been verified by Sony, but it was just too insane for me not to talk about. And a couple things here. It strikes me as, based off of everything I've been covering leading up to this moment, as potentially actually plausible. And based off of the surrounding circumstances from the person bringing it to us, it seems like this actually might be real. Sony PlayStation Studios is developing a groundbreaking new game, according to rumors, featuring a non-white transgender protagonist, according to the whispers circulating on Twitter. The game's story delves into challenges faced by the protagonist as she confronts the deep-seated misogyny of her culture, which refuses to accept women as leaders. I don't know. This is just too funny not to talk about. Like, okay, here's the thing. If I want to take the other side of the story here is, there may be a game here. There actually may be a story here that does dive into the challenges faced by a transgender in the world. And maybe it's not as ridiculous as it sounds on the surface. But with everything going on between Gamergate, Sweet Baby Inc., and all these DIE firms out there that are just ensuring equity and inclusion, I can't help but feel like the main force behind pushing this game forward is getting some sort of ESG kickbacks. But maybe that's just the pessimist in me. The rumor was first started on June 20th by Not I Play, a well-known Spanish-language PlayStation fan account on Twitter, with over 32,000 followers. According to Not I Play, they stumbled upon a casting call looking for a girl of about 20 to 30 years old with dark skin and transgender. They also have to be a knife expert, and the story would be about how their culture does not accept women as leaders in their community. Why would you need to be a knife expert and transgender? Are you going to be fighting violently against the community because they're not accepting you being transgender? Because if so, yikes. But there was significant skepticism and people asking for more clarification in that original post. Now, it was all in Spanish, and this is being translated by Google Spanish Translator, where Not I Play clarified more information in a follow-up tweet a couple days later on social media. They said, regarding the casting call that I published a few days ago, I would like to clarify some things. It was never a bait. It is 100% real. The info was taken from a page where you have to register to see the casting calls. There are also Ubisoft, Activision, and other Sony Interactive Entertainment games. I claim that it is a PlayStation Studios game because the casting director's history, 99% of the time, worked for Sony Interactive Entertainment. So again, take this all with a grain of salt. There's a ton of assumptions being made throughout all of this, and nothing is nailed down concrete as exactly what's transpiring. This is a rumor for like the 50th time of this video, but just the fact that this stuff is coming up, it shouldn't shock anyone, and the potential for making this type of game kind of fits with the direction the game industry and the road it's been going down. And Not I Play finishes up the follow-up tweet saying, "Trust me guys, I would never go into the mud without being 100% sure of things with a sensitive topic like this." So they are taking a big leap of faith saying this and putting their reputation of whatever it is on the line, having over 30,000 followers on Twitter. Wouldn't be the first time that someone made something up out of thin air based off of the current controversies out there that would say, yeah, let's pick up our pitchforks and get pissed off, get those torches lit, and yell at Sony for going down this road of DIE and how awful the video game industry is. So yes, it's a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, with everything that's happening, it just makes sense. One thing I keep going back to with this, though, is they want someone that is not white, and they're good with knives. I can't really wrap my head around that one without thinking that that is just insane to me. You want a transgender, non-white knife professional to be auditioning for a role to lead a video game about fighting against misogyny. I couldn't make that up in my wildest dreams. So who knows from concept to creation what actually ends up happening. But this is, at this point, just a rumor and a long line of games that have come before it that have started down this path in recent years. This wouldn't be the first time this kind of stuff happened in gaming either, as much as people want to fight against it. Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Part 2 featured Lev, a transgender character voiced by a non-binary actor, Ian Alexander. Oh, and while I was researching this, I saw that Ian wants to reprise his role as Lev, by the way.
There's a lot of people in my comments saying that I'm too old to play Lev now. I know I'm 4 years on T, but if I just hide my septum, it does require a bit of work, but I can sound the same way that I sounded pre-T. Through the magic of voice acting.
Then we have the Crash Bandicoot series with the new non-binary character, Cat Bat, in Crash Team Rumble, which created its own social media firestorm, and then progressing all the way to Concord, the latest game that has robots as well as other characters and a PvP fighter where they all have pronouns listed, including the robots. And I can't help but think, just on a personal level, that these companies know exactly what they're doing. This is a marketing technique. It's a way to get people to talk about their game in the new generation of gaming, because there's just so many games out there. It's really hard to get people to talk about your game out of the blue. Why would someone care? Why would someone bring it up? And it's almost like infamy, or any attention is good attention, even if it's talked about in a negative light. People will see the game, recognize it, and it will stand out to them. Potential, the curiosity factor, where they're like, oh, I heard people talking about this and how ridiculous it was. I want to take a look at it myself and check it out for myself just to see how ridiculous it really is. So, in my personal opinion, part of this, yes, could be ESG and DIE driven and all these other things that I've been talking about with how Gamergate has progressed to this point. But the other thing that could be transpiring is a marketing approach. And I genuinely feel like that is something that these companies know exactly what they're doing. Hell, just a tiny little rumor like this is getting talked about because it's just so ridiculous. At this time, neither Sony or PlayStation Studios have commented on Not I Play's claims, and we're left to speculate on the official announcement that could potentially confirm this ridiculous story. But the rumor of PlayStation Studios seeking a non-white transgender actor to lead the new game focusing on cultural misogyny is not just a mouthful, but it's just so abhorrently racist and sexist. And it's just like, no, we need to find this specific color of a character, this specific sex or gender of a character, this specific person that needs to fit this role that we're creating for this story, because reasons. Like, it's almost like excluding everyone to drive a point home to make sure that people understand a narrative and agenda that's being pushed forward by these companies. And at the end of the day, it just feels like yet another example of part of a broader trend within the gaming industry towards what many, like myself, perceive as pandering to social agendas at the expense of authentic storytelling. Now, that's not to say that this game can't be an authentic story, that can't be entertaining or interesting or completely revolutionize how people perceive this topic, but ultimately it remains to be seen if it even comes close to approaching that, if this is real in the first place. I'm going to reserve judgment on the game itself, but just the idea of it makes me a little bit frustrated, because that's the starting point. And if you're starting from there, it already implies a bias from the creators of the story in the first place. At least those are my thoughts on the situation. I'd be fascinated to hear what you guys think about this current rumor about PlayStation Studios potentially pinpointing a very specific type of person. I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. I will link this in the description below. If you enjoy what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Smash JT. Smash JT. Smash JT.